everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Energizing Africa, brought to you by Trina Solar, the leading player in renewable energy and solar energy. As we all know, renewable energy has been around since the early days, and ancient civilizations like the Aztec, like the Inca cultures used renewable resources like solar, like wind, like water to power their empires. In the 19th century, modern humans began using renewable energy sources such as hydropower, solar power, and wind to generate electricity. In 2008, China became the world's largest producer of solar energy with over 70 gigawatts installed capacity. Today, there are over 1 billion people worldwide that get their electricity from renewables, including solar panels on roof or wind or other sources of renewables. If we are to give a title for this episode, we would call it The Quest for Solar is the Quest for Innovation. Because definitely what comes to our minds, what's next in the quest for solar energy? And the quest for solar innovation is not an easy one. There are many challenges that need to be faced, but we can't give up now because the benefits that solar power provides are massive. This is why we have dedicated this episode to discuss innovation in solar energy. And this is why we're excited to be sponsored by a brand like Trina Solar to read the future, to tell us on what's going to happen in the years to come. And when we speak of innovation, then we have to host the best of the best. We're excited to have on this episode our dear guest, Naeem Joosub, the sales manager for African region at Trina Solar. Naeem is a strategic marketing and business development consultant with more than 10 years of experience in B2B, B2C, partner marketing, and business development in a number of sectors: FMCG, energy, consulting, finance, and accounting industries. Oh my God, Naeem, a very warm welcome to our episode.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It really is a pleasure to be with you today and to discuss the innovation of solar technology as we go towards the future.
Wow. So you're going to walk us through the future. Or we're going to read the future through your eyes, your knowledge, and your expertise.
I'll try my best.
Okay. That's not to put any pressure on you, Naeem, but such an extensive experience and track record that you have. And I guess most of them are within Middle East and Africa, Naeem?
Yes. So most of my business experience would be through the Middle East and Africa region. That is where I've specialized in, and that is where I've gained most of my knowledge and skills.
That's amazing. Okay, so Naeem, as we started in our introduction, this is about innovation. The entire episode is dedicated to innovation. So how do you see the future of solar energy, and to which extent it's going to be influenced by technology?
No, so not to sound funny or anything, but the future of solar is really bright. I mean, if you look at the growth alone in the last 10 years, I mean, from where we were 10 years ago to where we are now, the growth has been exponentially big. I mean, if you look at how much power was emitting from 2000 to probably 2010, you'd say less than a percentage. However, the world's the world's dependency on solar energy has grown to be more than that by now. And even in future, it's predicted that possibly by 2030 or 2045, about 40 to 45% of the world's electricity supply will be through a renewable energy source, namely most likely to be solar.
So 40 to 45% of the entire consumption of the energy globally will depend on the solar.
So that is what a solar future study done in the US has predicted, as well as a study done by Harvard University, where they've basically said that the dependency on current or traditional electricity or energy supplies is becoming very costly as well as very dated because of the emissions of greenhouse gases, and with the increase in carbon taxes. A lot of large-scale multinational international companies are looking to reduce their electricity bill as well as reduce their carbon tax bill, which fits perfectly in with the mantra of solar, because number one, it's clean energy. Number two, to use a quote, it's quote unquote free energy because it's energy from the sun. And if you look at it in a perspective or scientific perspective, it said that the sun emits enough power in a second to provide power, for example, the South African region, enough power for 2 hours to power the whole country. So it's now regarded as one of the more dependable power sources or power bases.
Well, I guess, Naeem, that we no longer need, I believe, to sell why we need solar, right? Or you still face this in your in your sales and marketing challenges, that you need still to justify or to sell, to answer this question, why solar? I think everything around us is telling us and it's justifying the business case.
So, I mean, if you take it from a South African perspective, right, the cost of electricity is rising at an exponential rate. I mean, over the last, if you take the last 15 years, the increases from our local energy provider, Eskom, in South Africa has been an average of between 14 to 16% a year. And it's predicted that it's going to increase this year, or in the next month, it'll be a 9% increase. And then we're looking at again in August or July, about another 5% increase. So the reason of why solar has certainly become, the question of why solar has now become more of it's one of the only options to look at, because unfortunately in Africa, a lot of our utilities are outdated, or rather they are reaching end of life. I mean, in South Africa, currently a study provided by our own electricity provider has shown that of the 16 power plants or coal-fire-based power plants, already 12 have gone past the end of life, and that has led to an increase in cost for electricity, is because of their increase in cost in maintenance. Where solar energy, the maintenance costs are relatively low. The lifespan is pretty long because it's 20 to 25 to 30 years. And on top of that, it is continuously innovating. Especially take example us here at Trina, we always innovating. We've got new panels coming out that have increased efficiency rates, which means that while we're producing cheaper power or more power at a cheaper rate, traditional power such as coal-fired power is now costing more and it's producing less.
Exactly. I guess that when we build a business case, especially for a precious, I wouldn't say even a commodity, that's something like the oxygen, like the air that we breathe. So we have always the factor of availability and affordability. Now, I think we're not even discussing the affordability, but the availability is becoming a challenge on its own. Like we all see the challenges we have in the supply chain, in the logistics. So having your resources coming from within, and that's renewable. That's not something that it's going to be consumed or it's going to be used, but that's something available all the time and happen to be free. It cannot be better than this.
Yeah, so you can look at it like that. Also, you need to remember that it also helps to sort of mitigate dependencies. So, for example, if you take the current situation where we, with Russia and Ukraine, where we sit in South Africa, we have a big dependency on coal, gas, and fuel. So what we've been briefed is that at the moment we are expecting a large fuel price increase as well as a large gas price increase. And I mean, at the moment, gas is a very scarce commodity. Having come from the oil and gas industry, I can tell you that the next 12 months will lead to exponentially high solar gas price increases. So definitely, if you look at solar, it's a sort of a dependency where a company, for example, a large mining company, can build their own solar farm, which helps to provide power to their facilities without having to be dependent on a lot of different factors. Yes, so if you look at the current situation, especially here in South Africa, we have a large gas dependency. A lot of our gas comes from Russia. A lot of the rest of the gas comes from Mozambique. And at the moment, the increase in gas price is predicted to be by nearly 23% next year. Because of the fact that Mozambique is running out of gas. So what solar provides is, especially for large corporations, and we're talking with regards to the South African and African sense, it provides a way to mitigate dependency. Because once you build a solar farm or a large solar utility plant, you sort of become dependent on yourself to produce your own power.
Yes. That's I think, I hope that we always love to look at the bright side and the learnings of each and every situation. And if we are to look at the current challenges that we all face, all countries are facing now, I think this is just raising the flag that why we need to think of sustainable alternatives that can be coming from within and to save us whatever remote challenges. So yes, thank you so much, Naeem, for this fulfilling brief. Now, when I move to Africa, Naeem, and as you rightly mentioned in your introduction that we have some of the challenges within Africa, some of the technologies we use, energy plants that we use are kind of outdated, or now it's like really mature. So how Trina Solar is helping the African region to face the challenges they have to promote the new technology and to help them to see how the future is bringing us, or what the future is bringing us.
Okay, so I mean, if you look at us, look at us at Trina Solar, we're always innovating. We're always at the forefront of innovation with regards to the development of our panels. We're always at the forefront with regards to the innovation of the way we do a lot of things. I mean, our highest panel at the moment, which is the Vertex, can give you up to 670 watts. Our panels help to reduce costs in a lot of ways because we don't require as much cabling or stringing. What we're doing is we're providing a sustainable option and a reliable option to the market at not at too high exponential cost. And remember, with solar, like I said previously, your dependency on you sort of take away the dependency. And the problem with a lot of African countries specifically is dependency on the local utility and the ability of that utility to develop, to provide and actually to continue to develop power. So by bringing in the latest technology, such as we do at Trina, we help a lot of these countries, and we help a lot of these communities to be able to become independent of the grid or of the local utility.
Great. So this is kind of like a general talk about the technology in future and what will bring the future to us. But when we replicate this to the products you offer that are currently in the market, so here we are talking about what? Vertex? Your solution?
The Vertex panels. Yes.
Okay.
The
Can you please tell us more about it?
Okay, so at the moment, our Vertex range of panels, we have a large variety of them. We have 670 or 660 watt panels. We have the 550 watt panel, and we have the ultra high power models as well. These models are based on leading multi-busbar technology. They've been adapted using 210 liter silicon wafers, and they help to provide a power output of about 21.6%. They provide low voltage and high modular string outputs, which sort of negates or helps to reduce the appearance of hotspots. It also it's got a really high efficiency rate, which means that unlike a lot of our competitors, our output is pretty high. Is very high, and our costing is very similar to theirs. Therefore, we're providing a better product at a similar price into the market.
Okay, here I have two. First of all, this is too advanced for a person like me to digest and to challenge. But here I have two issues. I want to take them one by one. First is the costing element. Well, in a previous interview, in one of the previous episodes we had in Energizing Africa, we talked about the cost of solar energy when compared to the traditional energy. And we talked about the fact that this cost is actually decreasing by time. Do you agree with this statement?
The cost of solar energy is decreasing while the cost of more regular energy or the current energy providers are increasing. And it feeds back to the original statement that as the advent of solar technology or the advancement of solar technology continues, we are able to provide panels at a lower or similar cost where they provide a higher output. While if you look at traditional energy, coal is a resource that's becoming scarce. So therefore, coal becomes more expensive. Also, the maintenance over time leads to those factors as well. I mean, if you look at, like I previously mentioned, the price of gas is increasing. And in a country like in South Africa or even in Africa, the dependency on gas is really high. We have power stations here as well. And those gas-powered stations are going to require, actual, what we're currently using is natural gas. They're going to start requiring a different type of gas called LNG, which is liquefied gas.
Gas, yes.
Right? Yes. And the cost of liquefied gas is tremendously more expensive because it requires not only importation, but it requires a large process to actually get it to its location, which completely throws out the cost of traditional power. As opposed to solar power, there's a cost for installing, there's a low maintenance cost over the period of 25 to 30 years. And as technology of solar continues to advance and grow, you're continuously changing out at a cost that's minimalized as opposed to continuously maintaining coal-fired or gas-fired power plants.
Well, as you rightly mentioned, while the cost of traditional energy is increasing, actually there is a direct impact and indirect impact, because the indirect impact is automatically the entire, like all the commodities price is increasing as well as a result of the increase of the gas. So it's not only about the direct impact, but it has also indirect impact. Well, My next question is a bit technical, so hold on because I'm trying really to put this in the right format. Okay, now when we talked about the technical solutions that you offer, like the Vertex, some were talking about the cell cutting as one of the famous challenges that they face. My very simple question to you, Naeem, what is the cell cutting? And
Okay,
so how you address this? But let's go for a break first. And then we come for you to simplify this for a person like me and how an expert like Trina Solar is addressing this kind of challenge. Okay, deal?
Okay, perfect.
Stay tuned, everyone. Let's go for a commercial break. This is Energizing Africa, brought to you by Trina Solar. We're talking innovation, and we'll go for a commercial break, and we will be back.
Looking for ways to save money in your electricity bill? Trina Solar, the global leader in PV and smart energy, presents Vertex, the most advanced solar panels in the world. Providing you with the highest power and efficiency available, up to 670 watts, Vertex modules can save you more money. Reliability and performance have driven our worldwide popularity. So trust us to power your home or business and enjoy peace of mind with our 25-year warranty. To find more information and to find a local provider close to you, visit trinasolar.com.
أهلا بكم في CBR كايرو بيزنس راديو، أول راديو بيزنس في مصر.
And we're back from the break. This is Energizing Africa. Right before the break, we were asking Naeem, our expert in innovation, we were asking Naeem about some of the technical challenges that users of solar energy, they say sometimes they face. And one of them was the cell cutting. So Naeem, please simplify this to me. So what is cell cutting? And how you, as expert like Trina Solar, the expert in solar energy, how do you address such challenges?
Okay, so first off, cell cutting is done with a laser, and it involves splitting standard solar cells into two halves, right?
Okay.
So solar cells can be very fragile, and laser cutting allows for precise lines to be cut into the solar cell. So then the number one issue that a lot of companies face, or a lot of people face, is that with the traditional way of cutting a cell, it leads to damage or future damage, and it reduces the efficiency of the panel. It also leads to cracking. At Trina Solar, we do what's called low temperature, non-destructive cutting process, which lowers the risk, and also it's a smooth cutting process, which reduces the risk of cracks or reduces the risk of damage to the panel. In simple terms, that's how I can explain it to you.
Okay. So now what used to be a pain point. Okay, so what Naeem is telling us that yes, there are some challenges that maybe renewable energy as still relatively new technology we might face, but not with Trina Solar, because Trina Solar has managed to nail it all. So we will conclude talking about the now. I'm sure when you started the year, you had some objectives and some KPIs, and we were not still having the challenges, or we were not faced with the political tension that we see around us now. So my question to you would be how the current events are like impacting your priorities and your KPIs for the year.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, being in a location like South Africa or in the African region, the main goal at the moment, or the main pain point a lot of us face here, is the lack of reliable electricity. So with the current political tensions, it leads in a further increase into that point because of the increasing costs that are involved with everything that is going on. It has led to a more we now look towards trying to be more aggressive in the market. We also want to try and further our brand name into the South African region. We have a pretty large name out there in the South African region. We are considered one of the most reliable panel providers. We are one of the most bankable brands out there in renewable energy, specifically in solar. We have a lot of trusted partners, and we are one of the best providers. And our goal will be to continuously grow, and especially with everything that is currently going on, the hope is to grow even further at a faster rate.
Okay, and maybe my question that would come after that, that's not in the script. I would love really to ask you how you cooperate with the states, African states, to help them plan for their energy needs. Like personally, I'm coming from different players where we used to be as partners of the concerned entities within each state, each African and Middle Eastern state, to help them shape their needs of, IT and telecom solutions. Are you having this kind of partnership with African states?
So generally in South Africa, currently at the moment, in the renewable energy space, South Africa has taken a really aggressive approach because of the failing of our outdated technology, or our old providers of electricity, specifically our national utility. So we've grown to be very aggressive here. We have what is called the Independent Power Providers Program. So that is where private entities can basically bid to provide power to the country. And we are trying at the moment to build partnerships with those current private companies. We are currently trying to assist them in in South Africa. What we do is we have different rounds of bidding where the government issues basically a bid to say we need 900 megawatts of power or 2,000 megawatts of power. And then you have a large amount of companies that are bidding and going through the bid process to try and win the bid to be able to provide that power. And we are looking to work or partner with those companies to be able to assist them with providing the renewable energy sector with power, specifically in solar. Because that in South Africa, solar is the best option to choose because of the fact that we have one of the best irradiation levels in the world. I think we have an area in South Africa called the Northern Cape. It has, I think, the second highest or the third highest irradiation level in the world, which allows it to provide a large amount of solar power during the day. And even during the colder winter months when the days are shorter, we can still provide above average normal levels of power, solar power here. So we're looking in South Africa Trina is looking in South Africa to build partnerships with a lot of these entities that are looking to build solar farms or solar utility plants in those areas. Okay,
so let me ask the question about the political incidents and political situations. Okay,
no problem. Go ahead.
Okay. So, Naeem, now it's almost we're at the end of the first quarter of the year. And I know usually we put the targets and the key objectives in the last quarter of the previous year. But now the entire world, we are all faced with new updates, given the political tension that's happening around like the world. So priorities have changed and objectives have also changed. My key question to you, one, given this political situation, do you think the future of the solar energy in Africa, that this might favor our position to fast track the adoption of the technology, one, to be an exporter of energy at a point of time?
Okay, so given, I would have to agree, but what needs to be stated is that currently in South Africa, we are already looking to fast track renewable energy because we don't have a choice. Our local utility or national utility is failing. They have outdated technology. They have a large dependency on coal. We have a failed nuclear bid process that did not go through, which was supposed to make up a large power base for us, but it did not happen because of a lot of political issues and corruption. So we currently are on the fast track path. Also, where it's looking to be heading towards for a lot of companies in South Africa is that if you look at the South African landscape with the current failing of the local utility, a lot of South African companies are now moving towards renewable energy. A lot of the large-scale producers or CNI industry, which is commercial and industrial industry providers, factories, are all looking to move towards renewable energy. I'll give you an example. Over the weekend, it was announced that one of South Africa's biggest energy users in South African breweries will be by 2023 completely off the local utility grid. Another large solar project was announced 2 weeks ago to be built to provide power. Another platinum mine in South Africa has also announced that they will be looking to save a large number of costs by building their own 75 megawatt solar plant. So a lot of our local companies or our global partners that are based in South Africa are going towards renewable energy. So we are already on the fast track. And the benefit to that, specifically from a citizen's point of view, is that once these companies have their plants fully up and operational, they will have an excess of energy. So that excess can be fed back into the grid or it can be sold overseas. And a large portion, a benefit from a Southern African perspective is we all use the same power pool. So it would benefit not only South Africa, it would benefit Namibia, it would benefit Zimbabwe, it would benefit Malawi and Mozambique as well. So because of that, we are looking at a very bright future, pardon my pun, but it is fast tracked. And then now recently with the increase of costs that are going to come up with the current tensions going on in the world, it's going to be an increase, it's sort of like a booster shot to that. But a lot of South African companies, and the best example I can give you right now is Amazon just opened last year in South Africa, right?
Oh my God.
Right. And along with Amazon decided that they would not use any power from our local utility. Their office is based in Cape Town, but they went out into the Northern Cape and built a 10 megawatt solar plant. So they're not only providing power for themselves, they're providing power into the grid. So that is the outlook a lot of companies are taking. So right now we really have a good future, and it's just about riding the storm of current costs, because like you pointed out earlier, solar costs right now is going to become cheaper, while regular energy or regular providers such as coal and gas are going to continue to become more expensive.
You know, I love this tone of voice when we analyze whatever challenge from an opportunity perspective, and not just to complain about the pressure it will bring or the challenges it will bring. And that's only leaders who are capable of doing that. Just think of whatever big challenge as an opportunity and how to seize this opportunity and how to be one of the winners. And here we're talking to a definite winner. So thank you so much, Naeem, for this positive vibes that you're bringing. Yes, we can be an exporter, and yes, we can seize this opportunity. I'm not saying seize like, well, it may sound like an opportunistic, but this is an opportunity for our region, really. And we should make good use of it, really. So no bad eye, my friends. It's going to be a promising year for Trina Solar and whomever is going to focus on renewable energy. My final question to you now, like climate change is the name of the game, and it's the concern of every country. And here in Africa, we are taking the lead in this, and we're really, we want to score high in this. So how Trina Solar is advocating the usage of solar energy in such formats and events? Are you really one of the dedicated or speakers in such formats, such events, to convince and to promote the value that solar energy can bring and the fact that it is an opportunity for our region now?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if you want to look at climate change, for example, one of the ways that we tackling climate change is by using solar, you're reducing the amount of greenhouse gas emissions. Remember, solar energy is renewable energy, and it's powered usage by the sun, so it doesn't emit any. It has no
emissions.
Gases.
Exactly.
It has no carbon emissions.
It's clean, green. Yes.
It's clean energy. So it's basically called an environmentally friendly product. We also have a very good recycling and disposing of scrap PV metal program. We also we advocate for innovation and sustainable development. I mean, we have a sustainable development, supply chain development program. We use conflict-free materials. So, I mean, we are part of the change. And being a solar company, it really is about ensuring that we are contributing to a green country and a green environment. Because right now, you really do feel the effects of climate change, especially in I think the Africa and Middle East region, where we've experienced weather that no one has seen in a very long time. So I think it's a key topic, and by going solar or by being involved in solar projects and providing solar panels or looking at solar as a renewable energy option or an energy option, actually, you're contributing towards saving the planet.
Wow. Well, that was exactly what I was expecting from this talk, that we will have a talk that's very promising, that has a lot of positive vibes, and that speaks of a bright future ahead of us. So Naeem Joosub, thank you so much for walking us through this journey, for simplifying technical talks that relates to renewable energy and making this as easy, as simple as understood for everyone, at least like me. So thank you so much, Naeem, and I wish you a year that's very productive, that is full of opportunities, and why not? We deserve it.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. And we definitely look forward to having a great year. Definitely.
Yes. And let's talk towards the end of the year and see how 2022 has been kind to us. Well, our dear listeners.
Definitely.
Our dear listeners, the quest for solar innovation is not an easy one. But thanks God, we're lucky to have professional players within our region. We have African experts, and we have companies that operate within our region that would make it easy. Thank you, Trina Solar, for always being ahead. And thank you, Trina Solar, for walking us through the future of innovation in solar energy. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Innovation was our topic. Let's see next episode what we're going to tackle, but I promise you it's going to be informative and it's going to be positive and it's going to be exciting. That's Energizing Africa, and as usual, brought to you by Trina Solar. My name is Samar Raouf. We'll see you next week with another expert from Trina Solar. Stay tuned.
Looking for ways to save money in your electricity bill? Trina Solar, the global leader in PV and smart energy, presents Vertex, the most advanced solar panels in the world. Providing you with the highest power and efficiency available, up to 670 watts, Vertex modules can save you more money. Reliability and performance have driven our worldwide popularity. So trust us to power your home or business and enjoy peace of mind with our 25-year warranty. To find more information and to find a local provider close to you, visit trinasolar.com.
أهلا بكم في CBR كايرو بيزنس راديو، أول راديو بيزنس في مصر.